What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. And y'all, I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, but not so much about the structure of the game. There's things going on, guys, in the world of gaming that I see, that I deal with, that y'all deal with, that you know we play more games than college football. I play more games than Sparking Zero and Kakarot and stuff. I play a lot of different games. Currently, right now, I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order, play Black Myth Wukong, playing Wolong. Like, I love gaming. And I do want to start bringing that stuff to the channel, or at least to Twitch or something. But Assassin's Creed has always held a special place in my heart for gaming. I remember when I was in college, and the first Assassin's Creed came out. I didn't know what it was. I don't even know how I stumbled upon it. But playing it, I was hooked. Because around that time, I was learning all about the whole Illuminati and the Third Eye stuff, and history and how it's been manipulated. And so when this game comes along and it has those hints of those types of things in it with the enemies, and it's just a wild story. I was hooked on Assassin's Creed. I've always loved open world games, but there was something unique about that game. And then part two, to me, was even better. Now, after that, I kind of started falling off. I played a little bit of part three. I've dibbled and dabbled here and there. Origins was by far one of my most favorite because I love Egyptian mythology. I don't know why. I just do. So I've been playing Assassin's Creed since day one. And they always give you this disclaimer that this game, while portraying historical events, is not historically accurate. Guys, I don't know why, or not why. How have we gotten to this point in gaming? Okay, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been taking so much slack ever since it was announced. If you ask me personally, I think it has to do with the quote unquote negative look at the quote unquote, again, woke agenda. And let me define this, guys. People have taken what it means to be woke. When I was growing up, being woke meant that you were waking up to how things really are in this world. You're not asleep to it, just going day by day. Somewhere, somehow, they've changed that term to mean a negative thing, like being like woke ideology. Like even the current administration throws that around like it's a slur. Guys, being woke is not a negative thing, and I can promise you this, because if the government is not wanting you to be woke, guess what? It's for a reason, because woke people, guess what? They see things for what they really are. And it's harder to be controlled if you're woke. They would prefer you to be asleep. So I don't like it. Now, they took the term woke and they applied it to anybody that's wanting to do stuff outside of the status quo. For example, there was rumor going on that they wanted to do a Superman movie with a black Superman. People lost their living, you know what. Superman isn't black, he's white. This woke agenda. Like, that's not being woke. Anybody that's read the comics know that there's a black Superman. Same thing with the Little Mermaid. They did a black lady with it, and people lost their minds over fictional characters. Okay? And then people would say stuff like, oh, well, what if they did a Martin Luther King story with a white man? Well, Martin Luther King was an actual person. Okay? People are crapping their pants over a fictional character being portrayed in a different race. And that's when the term woke started getting a negative connotation, if that makes sense. Guys, I don't know. And so this game comes out, okay, or coming out. It's been announced. And your main two protagonists, one is a woman, the other is a black man, okay? Now, Sasuke, we know there is historical things about a black samurai, okay, and that's what his character is based upon. I have no clue why people even care. I personally love it that movies, that games, that toys, even commercials, guys, are starting to be more diversified. And yeah, people may say, "Oh, DEI does the DEI is not about blacks. DEI is about it's about making sure that people who are qualified can get a job." Because, guys, believe it or not, there was a point in time in history where me as a black man could be more qualified for a job, but because the other person was white, they would get the job. And so that's where people start saying, "Oh, DEI, they just hiring black people." No, that was called affirmative action. That's a little bit different, okay? DEI deals with veterans, it deals with disabled people, because people have the right to say, "No, we don't want to hire you. Even though you're qualified, you're disabled, or you're a veteran, or you're old, or you're a woman," okay? All of that. So this stuff that's going on now, okay, it's a, I'm not going to say a bad time for a game like this to come out, but it's coming out in a moment in history where, in the Western world anyway, people are at ends with the whole. I'll say this: history is changing, and people aren't comfortable with it. Okay. Because, even Disney movies are starting to do different things, and people they're so used to it. And it's really my generation. And the older generation, the younger generation, don't have a problem with this stuff. It's my generation, the middle generation, and the millennials, and then the previous generation who we've grown up seeing things a certain way, and now they're changing. Now they're different. Okay. I remember growing up, guys, and this is real talk. You didn't see interracial couples in commercials. Most of the time, most commercials had white people. I remember, I think it was a Cheerios commercial, and you can go look this up. They got so much slack because they featured a commercial with a interracial couple. People lost their ever-loving minds off of that, guys. And so this is kind of the world that we're living in now. People just don't like change. Okay. I personally am super excited about this game. Why? Because I love Japanese culture. I love Chinese culture. I love Mexican culture. I love cultures. I love experiencing, learning, and seeing different cultures. And I love seeing it even more through video games. Okay. This game is supposed to be based out of Japan, but now I will say this. There are Japanese people who are upset with this game because it features elements from China instead of Japan. Hey, if they're saying that this is a Japanese-based game and you have Chinese elements in it, that is, to me, 100% justifiable to be upset. Okay? I'm just giving y'all a basis before I go into what I'm going into. Okay? But if a game is coming out and it has a black character and a female character and you're just upset because it's not your traditional white character or something, I don't know, man. I'm just saying. To me, it's like, bro, you don't have to be upset about that. Now, at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, and this goes to every gamer that's listening. If you don't like a game, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to play it. You don't have to watch the trailers. You don't have to buy it. Why have we gotten to a point in society where a game comes out that nobody is forcing us to play or even care about, and people are losing their minds about it? Just don't play it. Just don't buy it. If they came out with a game about slavery, and instead of black people, it featured white people in America being slaves, guys, I would not give a dang. I wouldn't be all on the internet raging and, "Oh, this game is they're trying to." Anybody with sense knows that slaves in America at that time wasn't white. So why am I gonna argue with stupidity? Number two, The best way to get anybody's attention in the business world is through their pockets. If you don't like a game, don't buy it. Don't buy it. So this leads us to this situation. Ubisoft reportedly has an anti-harassment plan in place for Assassin's Creed Shadows developers. Employees are advised to not post on social media. A team will be monitoring for targeted attacks. Lawyers are ready to file complaints in the event of proven harassment. Guys, even with this being said, you have content creators. I've been watching this story unfold. You have content creators out there trying to say, oh, we can't criticize the game or we're going to get sued. No, you freaking idiot tater tot. That is not what's being said. Why do people push misinformation so much? That's not what's being said. What Ubisoft is doing, they're looking at anti-harassment. Harassment and criticism are two different things. Let me give you an example of harassment. This game is terrible. I'm going to kill your family. I hope you die in traffic for making this game. That is harassment. Criticism, hey, the combat in this game is kind of janky. Can y'all fix that? That's criticism. Hey, the story doesn't quite flow nicely. That's criticism. Hey, the Japanese samurai wore this or they wore that. Not this or that. That's criticism. There is a big difference between criticism and harassment, people. The people that are going to be targeted in this situation are going to be the people who are harassing the developers, because it's already been happening. It's happened to other game developers in other games where people have literally threatened their lives because of something that happened in a flipping video game. Guys, I understand that we play games to sort of escape reality into another reality. But at the end of the day, you got to understand a video game is just that. It's a video game. You don't have to play it. You don't have to buy it. But if you so choose to play it and you so choose to buy it, you do not have the authority or the right to go and harass, not criticize, two different things. You don't have the right to go and harass developers. Okay? And so if you are going to be the one of the ones that's going to harass these developers, then they're going to seek legal action against you. Point blank, period. I haven't even looked at the comments on this, but let's look at some of the comments. And I'm willing to bet somebody's going to misunderstand what the difference between harassment and criticism. Hopefully not. Oh, look, first comment. Ubisoft threatening gamers with harassment claims over criticism of their game, yet Japan is so upset and disrespected by the game that they're planning a televised live stream national address over it. It feels pretty hypocritical for Ubisoft to cry harassment while their actions have provoked such a massive backlash. You, dear sir or ma'am, whatever you identify as, you're not right here. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. There is a difference between harassment and criticism. You are open to criticize the game. Criticizing the developers turns into harassment. You're a stupid idiot for making this game. Guys, that's not criticism. That's harassment. Criticism, hey, developers, the lighting is bad. Hey, developers, this story doesn't line up with history. That's criticism. That's not harassment. Harassment is when you attack a person either verbally or even physically. Okay, about something. Okay, so Ubisoft threatening gamers with harassment claims over criticism. No, it's not over criticisms. The harassment claims, no, you can be critical of the game. Harassing people is two different things. And they're doing a live stream about it, but it's not what you think it is. Translation, Ubisoft knows this game will be criticized for bad writing and forced identity politics. So they're preemptively framing all backlash as harassment. No, they are not. No, they are not. As a matter of fact, let's I wonder, is this going to take us? Ubisoft reportedly has an anti-harassment plan in place. Let's read the article, okay? Where does this start at? With Assassin's Creed Shadows just a few days from release, Ubisoft has reportedly implemented an anti-harassment plan for developers to protect them from potential backlash on social media. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been a targeted, persistent outrage from some corners of gaming fandom, primarily due to the presence of Yasuke. a black samurai, which has amplified unhappiness with pre-release missteps and mixed messaging from the company. The game itself looks promising. Our full review will arrive March 18th, and Ubisoft says pre-orders are tracking solidly, but it's still an ugly environment which to launch the game. Guys, and this is true. In 2025, people are upset because the game portrays a black samurai who, I don't know. I've always heard rumors of a real black samurai. Here's the deal. It's a video game. This is not a historically accurate game at the end of the day. It tells you that before you play any Assassin's Creed game. Who the hell cares if a samurai is black? Who cares? Now, I get it if you open your textbook in school and it's teaching about samurais and they are black when we know that the samurais weren't. But it's a video game. It's a video game. By the way, the mention of this guy is in history. Okay, we've advised not to post on social media that we work at Ubisoft to avoid harassment. Okay, guys, there is a difference once again between harassment and criticism. One employee told French site, beyond that, the company has apparently also worked with Canada's communications security establishment, the country's national cryptologic. Is that? Yeah, agency, presumably because Assassin's Creed Shadows is developed by Ubisoft Quebec. It's an initiative from Canada, a source told the site. There's a team that monitors networks and acts quickly in the events of a targeted attack. Ubisoft also reportedly has psychological and legal support in place for employees who are targeted because of their association with the game. And activity on social media platforms will be monitored by a dedicated team backed by lawyers ready to file complaints where necessary. Unlike what we've had before, this is serious, the source said. It's extremely unfortunate to put in the mildest terms possible that this sort of thing is necessary, but increasingly it is necessary. Targeted harassment campaigns and torrents of random abuse continue to grow. In 2023, for instance, Bungie said Destiny 2 developers were being subject to ongoing harassment, despite a 500,000 win against an abusive fan, just because they worked at the studio. And earlier this year, Square Enix launched a new anti-harassment policy to protect its employees and partners from similar abuse. Guys, this is nothing new in the gaming world. As I stated before, and it blows my freaking mind that gamers are harassing developers over a game they don't like. Bro, get a effing life. Get a life. Why are you harassing people over a game that you don't have to play? I get how people develop attachments to certain series and genres. Coming from the sports world, Madden was a game that developers, man, you had to have tough skin to work at EA. Even now, whenever they do a football game, NFL game anyway, the developers at EA, my goodness, guys, you don't have to harass these people. Criticize the game. Hey, this game is bad. This game is terrible. This game could be, even if you're going to be, here's the deal with being critical or criticism. Criticism needs to be constructive. You know, don't just be like, oh, this is stupid. You know, why is it stupid? What makes the game dumb? Help the developers to make a better game. You know, but this is something that's been going on in the industry for years. And I remember I've played Destiny 2, a huge fan of Destiny, the Destiny series. That was one of the first big time games that I got into on PlayStation, on the PS4. I actually fell into it through a demo. But, you know, people in that community, I mean, death threats and everything to the developers for things that they change. GDC's 2023 State of Game Industry Survey found that 91% of developers believe player harassment is a problem for the industry. It is. It is a big problem. Unsurprisingly, women are more likely to experience abuse from players than men, as are members of the LGBTQ plus community. Like I said, guys, video games are now falling into the whole part of society where the quote unquote woke agenda is looked at in a negative way. And so anything that comes, and I'm gonna be honest, I wonder how much of this are actually people and how much of it are bots, guys, because bots exist and these things are very intricate, especially with the implementation of AI, that they could portray real people. But yet and still, Our stance has always been that team members' social media channels are their own. Ubisoft said in a statement provided to PC Gamer, our top priority is the safety of our employees, including online, which is why a standard practice across Ubisoft, we offer guidance on navigating social media, digital safety, and support for team members' well-being. We also share resources to help prevent and protect against online harassment, something our teams have unfortunately faced. It's sad that in the gaming world, that companies have to implement things for their employees to deal with harassment. That's sad. It's a video game, but people are losing their minds over movies. They're losing their minds over TV shows. Like anytime someone tries to change something or do something different, it's a problem. Sasuke, is that am I pronouncing his? I don't even. Am I pronouncing his name right? Is it Sasuke? Yasuke, Yasuke, Yasuki. I'm saying Sasuke. Ain't that Naruto, y'all? Forgive me, man. Y'all get my point. The Black Samurai, guys. I mean that is historical. Okay. Now whether that story is accurate to the way it's portrayed in the game or not, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a video game that you do not have to play. They're not shoving it down your throats to play it. Well, they may be through advertising, but you don't have to pay attention to it. Okay. Ubisoft has previously pushed back on some of that abuse, while CEO Yves, I'm not going to butcher these names, made a fruitless attempt to moffly angry gamers in 2024 by saying the companies is not to push any specific agenda. Creative leadership has been rather more forceful about it. In November 2024, franchise lead Mark Alexis Coat, I guess, I don't know, said developers throughout the industry face the added challenge of distinguishing between genuine feedback and attacks driven by intolerance, but added, when we self-censor in the face of threats, we hand over our power piece by piece until freedom and creativity both wither away. We cannot let that happen. I agree with that, man. I agree with that. You can't just sit there and take that. Like but you do have to know the difference between criticism and harassment. Like if somebody is every single day texting that you're stupid for making this game is dumb, blah 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 blah. If they're doing that stuff every day, that's harassment. Criticism, if you don't like the game, it's okay to let the developers know, hey, I don't like this game. Okay, but also share why you don't like it. That's criticism. There is a starch difference. Okay, so going back to the comments, all I'm hearing is buy our game or you are racist and we will sue you. I knew a 5-year-old who acted like this once. See, some guy on the phone, like, bro, this is one of the dumbest comments, man. Like, they're not making you buy the game. They're not saying if you don't buy it, you racist. Like, where has Ubisoft ever said that? Be real. They don't, if you don't buy the game, they don't care. Nobody criticizing you about not buying the game. That's crazy. So what? That Ubisoft really can't stop putting nails in that coffin. Like, bro, why such a strict measure? Gee, a strict measure because it's happening all over the gaming industry where developers are receiving threats to their lives and their families and things like that. People bombarding their social media with hate over a video game. They might have the big surprise that nobody would care about their games and not playing it. I'm playing it. I'm going to play it. Seems like a lot of hoops to jump through. Why not just put out a game that people actually want rather than spending all this time and effort preparing for the inevitable backlash of it? They're not preparing for the backlash of the game. They're preparing for harassment that they've already been seeing since the game was announced. I remember when the first trailer dropped for this game, people lost their ever-loving minds because of a black samurai and a female protagonist. People were pissed. They didn't even know the history of this guy. So let's see. So over here on Google, Yasuke. This is a historical figure. It's crazy that they got the Assassin's Creed thing right there. Okay, the overview, and this is the internet at the end of the day, but Yasuke was a samurai of African origin who served Oda between 1581 and 1582, so for a year, during the Sengoku period until Nobunaga's death. According to historical accounts, Yasuke first arrived in Japan in the service of Italian Jesuit Alessandro, whatever. Nobunaga summoned him out of desire to see a black man. What? What? Okay, but this is the thing. He's a historical figure. Is the story true? Yes, the story of Yasuke, a man of African origin who became a samurai in the 16th century Japan, is based on a real historical figure, although much about his life remains a mystery. So, and then they give you some more detailed things. Okay, Yasuke arrival in Japan, service to Oda, first black samurai due to his service and favor with Nobunaga. Yasuke is widely Yasuke? I'm gonna just call him Yasuke. If I'm mispronouncing that, y'all, I'm sorry. Yasuke is widely considered the first recorded samurai of foreign birth, although this has been disputed by some. Nobody. Here's the deal. I'm gonna give y'all an example of why this is stupid. There was a movie called The Last Samurai, starring Tom Cruise, and nobody cared. The Last Samurai was a white man. Okay. But like I said, if that movie had came out now, people probably would have been a little bit upset. I don't know. While his existence is confirmed, much about Yasuke's life before and after serving Nobunaga remains unknown. There is no verifiable record of his life after 1582. So he did exist. This is true. They even have an anime. I did watch that, by the way. That was a good anime. It was decent. It was pretty good. Netflix anime series, Yasuke takes a new approach. So here's the deal. Nobody really knows the ins and outs of his life, but he did exist. He existed. So why is there so much slack for this? It's so stupid, man. Gamer. The combat feels clunky. Ubisoft devs. Help, I've been emotionally and racially harassed and assaulted. This is so stupid. Because that's not at all what they're saying. You can be critical of the game. The combat feels clunky. That is a clear criticism. Ubisoft devs, help, I've been emotionally and racially harassed and assaulted. No. They're not going to do that. Law enforcement, we receive reports that you've assaulted. No. More like, okay, yeah, we can't put that on there. This is stupid, dude. People, and you reading the replies just lets you further know, like, this is why they have to put in these types of measures. Regardless of how the game is, no one should have to be protected from nerds on the internet who can't keep their crap together because of a dang video game. If you don't like it, get in line and rant on the internet like the rest of us. No need to threaten. I love that. No need to threaten devs because of fictional world. I repost all day. Imagine making such crap games the last 6 to 8 years that you have to sue your. That's not. See, this is people that don't know what they talking about, bro. This people that don't know what they talking about. See, look, I told you. You will like our game or else. Or you will like our woke game. See, it's not woke, bro. Why is it because they have a black samurai in the game who is a historical figure, by the way, and a woman shinobi that it's considered woke? People don't know what woke means. What does the comment say on this? They're suing people who send death threats. Thank you. I will agree with that. Use your brain. Yes. Pick up a book. Rasuke. Yes. So it is people out there that got some sense, bro. But y'all get what I'm saying. I think Assassin's Creed Shadow is going to be good. They may have learned from their past mistakes. I don't know, man. It's crazy that it has to come to this. But Ubisoft is doing something that you're probably going to see other game developers follow in suit with. They're going to start doing the same thing. Because, guys, like even the article that we just read, this stuff is happening in other areas of gaming as well. At the end of the day, if you don't like a game, don't freaking buy it. don't freaking play it. You're not obligated. Like me being a fan, I was a huge fan of Madden, guys. Guess what? This last year, this Madden 2025, Madden 25, I did not buy it. I have not played it. I have not purchased it. I didn't play a demo, a beta. Why? Because I don't care for Madden like that no more. Because I know I'm getting the same. Madden 25 is just like 24. Upgraded graphics and a little improvement. When college football dropped, that's the game that I like to play. You know what I'm saying? And I said that when college football dropped, I probably won't play Madden again. And Madden 25 was on sale for $13 in the PlayStation Store last week. I was tempted, but I didn't buy it. Why? Because I don't care for it. I'm not in the comment section attacking the devs and stuff for not putting certain stuff in the game and doing stupid stuff like that. If you don't like it, don't freaking buy it. Ubisoft is not forcing anybody to buy this game. They're not down talking anybody for not buying this game. Now, if you are one of those people who aren't buying the game because it's a black samurai in the game, then guess what? As much as I disagree with that logic, that's your decision. But you don't see people in your comment. Well, it probably is people harassing you for it, calling you racist and things like that, which honestly probably is true. Why do you care if the samurai is black? It's a samurai based on a historical figure that actually existed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, nobody's making you buy this game. So just don't buy it. But yeah, they have every right to get in here and set this in place to protect their developers from harassment. And I guarantee you, somebody's going to get sued for it. Not criticism, guys. Harassment. Being critical of the game is different than harassing the developers for something that you didn't like. Okay? And then you even see here, the creator of Super Smash Bros. Has publicly suggested that Japanese game developers should prioritize creating games that appeal to Japanese audiences rather than adapting to Western tastes. He believes that the unique and fun elements of Japanese games are what draw international fans, not an attempt to mimic Western styles. This viewpoint has initiated a broad discussion within the gaming community about cultural authenticity versus market appeal. While many fans and developers support Sakurai's stance, I think that's how you say his name. If I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. Appreciating the distinctiveness of Japanese games, others argue for a balanced approach, recognizing the economic benefits of also considering Western markets. The conversation extends to themes of cultural identity in media, with some expressing a preference for games that preserve the original cultural essence. You know, here's the deal. You're asking a developer out of the Western world to make a game that you want them to make. If they're in the Western world, they understand the Western market, and they're going to make games to do that. Okay, Japan doesn't have to release the game. Japan, as a nation, can choose this game will be banned in Japan. People are ordering this game in Japan because some people at the end, they understand it's just a freaking video game. You know what I'm saying? But I also understand from a historical standpoint. If you're making but that's the thing with Assassin's Creed. This game isn't historically accurate. There was an Assassin's Creed game that came out, I want to say before Black Flag. It was called Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. It portrayed a slave, a black slave that got free. Guys, I played the game. I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't like, hey, this is historically inaccurate. Because it's a video game. It's showing a different person's creativity. Like, I don't know. Japanese game developers should prioritize creating games that appeal to Japanese audiences. I understand Ubisoft Quebec is the main, but still, I get it. You want to get, and here's the deal. There are games that are only sold in Japan that's not sold in other countries. Just because it's Japan, the story is based out of Japan, like, I don't know, man. That's the beauty in gaming. Hey, why don't you make a game? That I would say this to anybody. Go make your own game. If there's a game out that you don't like, go make one better. Or don't buy it. Getting upset over a video game to me is crazy. Well, I ain't gonna say getting upset. Criticizing a game is okay. Harassing people, that's crazy. And what people fail to realize is there are gonna be more people, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end this video. There's gonna be, this game is gonna sell simply because, or I'll say this game is gonna get a lot of attention because of the stuff that's going on with it. So there are people who probably wouldn't have even thought about playing this game that'll probably play it just because of they want to know what is the criticism all about. Okay. Is this game actually good? Now, it might not break sales records. This game may not. But you are going to have new people come to the series, people who've never heard of Assassin's Creed. Believe it, there's people out there. They're going to check this game out because it's in the media so much. A while ago, there was certainly a culture of making Americanized products because various works were popular in the US. However, I feel that Japanese game lovers overseas are not looking for such things. Okay, they can find what the heck they want to look for. You can't sit here and tell a Western company to make a game based off of Western ideology, based off of, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like a game, just don't buy it. You want Western companies to make a game based on Japanese? Like, make y'all's own games. Japan makes games. China has games. They're awesome. There's some really cool games. Black Myth Wukong, perfect example of an international game. That is freaking amazing. Should have got Game of the Year in my opinion. But I have to digress. I feel that Japanese game lovers overseas are not looking for such things. Okay, that's fine. The Western world is. And they're going to sell millions of copies based on the Western world. But for something unique and interesting from Japan. In other words, I think the ideal would be to make games the way you like. As those who agree with you will enjoy them. Okay, see. This gives a completely different than this. They make that title is very misleading. He basically just make the games you like, bro. And you know what's ironic about it? Super Smash Bros. It's a Western-based game. I don't know. Make it make sense. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. Guys, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below, man. I myself am going to be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Hopefully I can get it whenever it drops. I don't know. Might have to wait till later. You know, money. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely going to play it, though. I'm definitely going to get it. I just don't know when. Might have to trade in some games or something like that. Guys, that's all I got for right now, man. Till next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.